Alright, so we're on page 25, day 2 of 6.2. Explore and apply properties of vertical angles. You remember us touching on vertical angles a little bit yesterday?
Yep.
So that's the whole, right here, if you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, you have 2 pairs of vertical angles. What are the 2 pairs?
No.
Can you give them names? These angles have names. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4.
Those aren't angles.
Yeah, they are angles. I just gave them numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are angle
We
numbers.
were talking about lines.
What?
We were talking about lines though.
Yeah, so no, we're talking about vertical angles. I said, can you tell me which
Oh.
angles? There are 2 pairs of vertical angles here. What are the vertical angles here?
1, 2, 3, and 4.
1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all vertical angles?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back and do a refresher yesterday. Vertical angles, let's see if their definition is any good. Nope, they don't really have one. So vertical angles are with 2 lines cross. And you have 2 lines that are crossing each other. Angles across from one another are vertical. And that means they are equal. I'm gonna call that a Q. Equal, another name for equal is also called congruent. So anytime you see the word congruent looks like, the symbol for it actually looks like this. Equal with a little squiggly line over it. That means that they are the same, they have the same measure. It's basically just a fancy word for in geometry that you see for saying that 2 things are the same thing, they have the same measure. So angles 1 and what's the other congruent angle?
3.
Yep, angles 1 and 3, and then angles 2 and angle 4. When you're naming angles, you have to put this little angle thing in front of it. Otherwise, otherwise you can't call it. It's not the measure of an angle. This right here says the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 3 because they're congruent. They're vertical angles. The measure of angle 2 is equal to the measure of angle 4. They're congruent. They have the same measure. So if you look on bottom of page 26 there, it's got 2x and 60 degrees. So if you want to find out what x is, what could you do?
It would just be 60 divided by 2.
Yeah, so let's set up an equation for me. You like to jump ahead of the equations? Can you work with me on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you set up the equation 2x equals 60 divided by 2, x equals 30. Yes, 30 because the degree sign was already on there, so that means that x is just going to be 30, not 30 degrees. 5 works the same way. You set 120 equal to 3y. We're going to do example 12. It says in the diagram, 2 straight lines intersect to form angles 1, 2, 3, and 4. See how they name the angles 1, 2, 3, and 4 there? Find the value of each variable if measure of angle 1 is 76. So we've got this here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they said measure of angle 1 is 70. Oops. Measure of angle 1 is 76 degrees. So if this is 76 degrees, we know the measure of angle 2 is what?
76.
Nope. They are not vertical angles. They are what kind of angles?
Oh, I thought you were saying measure 3. Measure 2. Well,
what kind of angles are they? 1 and 3 are congruent angles or vertical angles. 1 and 2 are what kind of angles? They add up to what?
Wouldn't they be congruent to each other?
straight line. They're going to add up to what?
I have no idea.
Yes, you do. The last lesson. We talked about this yesterday too. 1 and 2. They add up to. You have two lines, two angles on a line. The measure of all of this is how many degrees?
180.
So
There's
they're what kind of
supplementary-
angles?
Supplementary.
Yes. See, I told you. You know. Supplementary. So if this is 76, then this must be.
Oh, okay. 180 minus 76, which is 104.
So, and then from there, that's all the hard work.
This is-
So you know that this is 104, this is 76. If this is 104, then this is,
104. Isn't there a better way to find it though?
and this is also 76. Is there a better way to find it? No, that's the easiest way to do it. Because
Well, I feel
you
like
can
if you
say
did-
right away, these are both 76, and either way you can say, hey, this is 76, which makes that 104, this is 76, makes that 104. You can use it out whatever angle you want, but one way or another, you have to do 180. You have to say, use some kind of supplementary angles to figure out what the other angle measures are.
No, you
No.
can do 76 plus 76, then 360 minus that, then that divided by 2.
Yep, you could do that. That's a longer way of doing it, but you can definitely do it. That would be how I did geometry in high school. So there's these things called theorems and proofs that you have to do when you get into high school geometry. Basically, you have to prove that this thing is this other thing, and try to find how many steps can you prove this based on things that you already know. And I would always get there, but usually if it was a 5-step proof, it would take me like 10 steps to get there somehow. My teacher was like, I don't know how you did it. You got the answer, you got it right, but you did way more work than you needed to. So if you want to do it that way, you totally can do it that way, but that's more work than you need to do. So let's do guided practice 6, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I get those right. Yep, and then this is R, P, Q, R. P degrees, Q degrees, R degrees. And they tell us
114, 1.
So this is 114, and we also know
The other one's 114.
which other one?
3.
Yeah. And then
Well, 114 or 180 minus 114, which is 166. And then-
166?
Or 66. No, it's 66.
Yep, because they're vertical angles. And that's it. You can start your assignment.